The thing Meghan Markle found most frustrating about being a royal. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry look like they've comfortably settled into their new lives as non-working royals. After stepping down as senior members of the royal family earlier this year, the couple briefly spent some time in Canada with their son Archie, before the family relocated to LA. Although Meghan and Harry's new arrangement with the royal family is only thought to be a one-year trial, we're not sure we'll ever see them return to their duties. Not only is the couple keen on financial independence, having recently signed a pretty lucrative professional speaking deal with an agency that also represents the Obamas, but the Sussexes are also in the process of building their own non-profit organization, Archul, which will be the focus of their careers going forward. And then there's the fact that, tiaras and fancy events aside, there are actually some pretty major downsides to being a royal. In court documents relating to Meghan Markle's legal case against a newspaper that she alleges published multiple false stories about her and her family, as well as printing extracts from a personal letter that she wrote to her father, the Duchess revealed the most frustrating part of being in the royal family member. As well as explaining that she suffered mentally during her pregnancy, the official documents reveal that Meghan felt frustrated by the no-comment policy generally enforced by the royal family. When regarded claims she felt were simply untrue. The claimant had become the subject of a large number of false and damaging articles by the UK tabloid media. As her friends had never seen her in this state before, they were rightly concerned for her welfare, specifically as she was pregnant, unprotected by the institution, and prohibited from defending herself, the statement read. Speaking to People, a source explained, the go-to position, at the palace, was no comment or to ignore stories, and people actively prevented her from responding to stuff that we knew to be untrue. That is what she is taking issue with. While the royals do occasionally respond to articles they claim to be untrue, for example, they did so with a recent Chatler article which suggested Kate Middleton was fed up with the extra workload, it's not commonplace for them to make comment on much of the media commentary. And considering just how much was being written about Meghan after the royal wedding and throughout her pregnancy, there would have been a lot of denials to be issuing. Still, you can totally see how it would wear a person down, not to feel like they could clarify the truth. And it did affect Meghan Markle. In an interview for documentary, Harry and Meghan, An African Journey, which was filmed during the Sussexes' autumn tour of Africa last year, the Duchess told presenter Tom Bradby that she was struggling. Speaking about all the tabloid articles written about her, she said, "You got to thrive and you got to feel happy, and I think I really tried to adopt this British sensibility of a stiff upper lip. I really tried, but I think that what that does internally is probably really damaging. I never thought that this would be easy, but I thought that it would be fair. And that's the part that's really hard to reconcile," she added. When people are saying things that are just untrue, and they're being told they're untrue but they're allowed to still say them, I don't know anybody in the world that would feel like that's okay. Hopefully living a life where they've got a bit more control over what the public hear will be just when Meghan needs to get her health and happiness back in order.
Meghan Markle tries to stop Mail on Sunday naming her 5 friends in court papers. Meghan Markle is trying to stop the Mail Online and the Mail on Sunday naming 5 of her friends in court, in a legal battle over the publication of a letter she sent to her father. Meghan is suing Associated Newspapers Limited, ANL, the publishers of the Mail on Sunday and the Mail Online, for breach of copyright after it printed extracts of a personal letter she sent to her father Thomas Markle after her wedding to Prince Harry. ANL will claim the letter was not private because 5 of the Duchess of Sussex's friends spoke to People magazine and alluded to it. A source close to the Duchess of Sussex confirmed she has filed papers with the High Court to prevent ANL naming these 5 friends in court. The court has already been told the names of the friends but confidentially. In a witness statement filed with the High Court and seen by Yahoo UK, the Duchess will say, "These 5 women are not on trial, and nor am I. The publisher of the Mail on Sunday is the one on trial. It is this publisher that acted unlawfully and is attempting to evade accountability, to create a circus and distract from the point of this case, that the Mail on Sunday unlawfully published my private letter. Each of these women is a private citizen, young mother, and each has a basic right to privacy. Both the Mail on Sunday and the court system have their names on a confidential schedule, but for the Mail on Sunday to expose them in the public domain for no reason other than clickbait and commercial gain is vicious and poses a threat to their emotional and mental well-being. The Mail on Sunday is playing a media game with real lives. I respectfully ask the court to treat this legal matter with the sensitivity it deserves, and to prevent the publisher of the Mail on Sunday from breaking precedent and abusing the legal process by identifying these anonymous individuals, a privilege that these newspapers in fact rely upon to protect their own unnamed sources. The source also indicated concern about potential intimidation of other witnesses who may come forward in the case if the women are named and extensively written about. Meghan's previous court filings indicate she did not know her friends were going to speak to the magazine before they did, and she only found out about the article after it was published. In the statement filed on Thursday, which also marks 100 days since the couple left their senior royal roles, she said the women made a choice on their own to speak anonymously with a U.S. media outlet more than a year ago, to defend me from the bullying behavior of Britain's tabloid media. The five friends told People magazine in February 2019 she had written to her father to say, "Dad, I'm so heartbroken. I love you. I have one father. Please stop victimizing me through the media so we can repair our relationship." 4 days later, the Mail on Sunday published extracts of the letter. It has denied it sought to alter the meaning of the letter in the parts it wrote, and has said it will hotly contest the case.
Prince Harry is reportedly secretly tortured with LA move, but here's why it's not true. Prince Harry and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, have been lying low in Los Angeles, in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic that is sweeping the nation. They have still been making headlines, however, with reports speculating about everything from the state of their marriage to their next big project. Very little is known about their future plans, or their current state of mind. However, some reports released can be pretty thoroughly debunked, including a recent story that claims Prince Harry is living a tortured life in California. After months of unhappiness, Prince Harry and Meghan announced in January that they were stepping down as senior members of the royal family. The two broke the news to the public in an Instagram post, stating that they wish to become financially independent and pursue their own interests, including establishing a brand charitable organization. Their post also revealed that they would no longer be based in the United Kingdom. Only a few months later, Meghan and Prince Harry quietly made the move to LA. California is where the Duchess grew up, and it was widely speculated that the two chose that location in order to be closer to Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland, with whom she is very close. Living in California also put the couple close to the heart of the film industry, where the Duchess of Sussex could pursue projects in entertainment. Immediately after their move, the novel coronavirus surfaced, putting Prince Harry and Meghan's plans on indefinite hold. The formerly royal pair has been under the radar, spending quality time with their son and avoiding the spotlight. Still, there have been many reports that claim that Prince Harry is regretting his move to LA, and is sick with guilt over leaving his family. Seemingly adding insult to injury, Prince Harry's father, Prince Charles, was diagnosed with COVID-19 shortly after the move to LA. Some reports have claimed that Prince Harry has no friends in LA and that he is feeling completely at a loss, unsure of what his next move will be. While there could be some truth to some stories, one recent report, in particular, might have gone too far. Daily Mail reports Prince Harry is secretly tortured by the fact that he stepped down from his role as a senior royal and that Prince Charles' COVID-19 diagnosis made him realize his father's mortality. This report is dramatic and intriguing, but likely untrue. After all, Prince Harry hasn't really had the opportunity to fully experience his new home yet. Being in lockdown, Prince Harry has not been able to enjoy the restaurants, shows, and culture that LA is so famous for. Regarding Prince Charles' coronavirus diagnosis, it seems unlikely that the red-headed royal would have allowed it to torture him. Whether he was in LA or the United Kingdom, Prince Harry wouldn't have been able to visit his father, since the older man would have been in lockdown while the virus ran its course. What's more, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have reportedly been enjoying their family time amid the lockdown. They really do love that family time and they've had a lot of that recently, royal expert Katie Nicholl recently told Entertainment Tonight. They both feel very grateful for that time they've had at home with Archie, watching him achieve all of those milestones.
New reports allege that Kate Middleton and Queen Elizabeth made a pact to help Meghan Markle. Sure, being a royal has its advantages, the fashion, the princes, the tiaras, the castles, but it definitely also has its drawbacks, from the stifling rules and the end of privacy to the dreaded rumor mill. No one knows this more than the two millennial duchesses, Kate Middleton, and Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle suffered a particularly turbulent start to royal life, made the focus of constant slander and, according to some sources, struggling behind doors to get to terms with royal protocol. Sources told People that the Duchess found the rules against her speaking out to defend herself to the press particularly hard to deal with. It has recently been reported, however, that Kate Middleton went to talk to the Queen about Meghan Markle, with the two women making an alleged pact. In the latest royal book, Royals at War, authors Andy Tillett and Dylan Howard allege, via the Daily Express, that the Duchess of Cambridge voiced her concerns about Meghan Markle's behavior to the Queen 6 months after the royal wedding. Several aides by this point had reportedly been concerned. It is then reported in the book that Kate Middleton and Queen Elizabeth made a pact to guide Meghan Markle through her life as a royal. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle eventually stepped down from their royal family roles and have since relocated to Los Angeles, California, with their baby, Archie.
Meghan Markle found one royal rule particularly upsetting to follow. Meghan Markle has faced a huge wave of online hate since joining the royal family. From the moment the former Suits actress was rumored to be dating Prince Harry, she was hounded by the press and public alike, with Harry forced to release an unprecedented statement asking for her privacy. Since becoming a royal family member, it only got worse. The run-up to the couple's wedding was overshadowed by Thomas Markle drama and cruel reports of Meghan making Kate Middleton cry, pitting the royal sisters-in-law against each other. Then, during her pregnancy, the speculation got even more vicious, with even George Clooney stepping in to voice his shock at the unprovoked abuse aimed at her, from body shaming to constant slander against her in the tabloids. The Duchess of Sussex was certainly one of the biggest royal victims to the dreaded rumour mill, with false, and harmful, reports about the former Suits actress surfacing each day. The element Meghan Markle reportedly found particularly hard to deal with, however, was her inability to defend herself, with the palace having a no-comment rule. According to new reports, Meghan felt unprotected during her time in the royal family, something a source opened up about recently to People. The go-to position was no comment or to ignore stories, and People actively prevented her from responding to stuff that we knew to be untrue, a source explained to the publication. That is what she is taking issue with. The source continued, the palace teams are faced with the difficulty that when things go wrong, particularly on private life matters, quite often any action taken with the media makes it worse. It's not that the royal household doesn't want to help, more that they don't want to make it worse by giving a gossipy story more oxygen. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were eventually forced to step down from their royal family roles, become financially independent and relocate to Los Angeles for the sake of their mental health. They are now in the midst of a lawsuit against Associated Newspapers Limited, taking action against the abuse Meghan faced. The case is ongoing,